Hello and welcome to another episode of Never a Straight Answer, the podcast that aims to cover a wide range of topics from conspiracy theories to popular culture and news. I'm your host Gaz, and joined in the studio, as always, he's my co-host. Put your hands together for Mr. Taylor. Hello. Welcome to the show.
Wicked man.
Whether a new listener or an existing repeat offender, welcome to the show.
Repeat offender.
I said a repeat offender.
I like that.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
That's good. All our repeat offenders.
Yeah, come back and see us sometime.
Yeah.
So yeah, how's it going? It's been a week.
Yes, it has. Been busy looking for dogging sites.
He has as well. We got asked, can we do some serious topics like local reviews on dogging sites?
Yeah.
So you can't always trust a Google review though. So
No,
Taylor's been out to check the legitimacy.
There's definitely been some 1-starers out there.
Has there?
Yeah.
It's not what you need, is it?
But then there was a 4-starer, so that was a good night.
4-star was that? Do you mean four sheriff stars?
Well, yeah, no,
all
Ford
round a Ford Capri. Yeah, yeah. Sounds interesting. I'll take your word for it. You crack on though if you want to. I'm sure on the website at some point there'll be a little box with Taylor's dogging reviews.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, we'll see what happens.
Excellent. Well, welcome to the show. Like I say,
welcome.
I've had a busy week again. Always having a busy week.
You're always out and about.
London calling, all that.
Always calling.
But yeah, it's been a lot of poorly folk out there. Everyone seems to be kind of coughing their heads off at the minute.
A lot of it.
And
yeah,
it kind of links into what we're going to be talking about tonight.
Yeah.
Because even though we're going to take it a bit more seriously, we're going to be talking about the coronavirus tonight.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of stuff in the news, a lot of stuff in the media.
Yeah.
I mean, we want to understand it a little bit better.
Yeah.
So we're kind of having a look into it. But, there's a lot of kind of stuff that kind of, you don't know what to believe really. So,
yeah, there's a lot of scaremongering, but then again, I think at some points, I think there needs to be.
Do you think there's a conspiracy in it?
I think they may well be a
they
conspiracy.
Might be.
I put some things in my head.
The thing is, it's like
connecting the dots.
It's a bit of a weird one because there is people who just basically benefit if shit goes to shit in China and other places like that.
Check who's been putting shares into pharmaceutical companies in the last.
That's a good point, actually. Yeah. And I could do with a bloody lemsip, I tell you that, and my coffee's still going.
Oh yeah,
but it's like you start worrying, don't you? I mean, it's like. I swear people are kind of like, you have a bit of a coughing fit in the street and people are like, whoa, stay away from him.
He seems to be a dragger, this one, no. I mean, it doesn't seem like a normal kind of flu.
Do you reckon?
To be honest. Yeah, well, I had it over Christmas period and I've still got it now.
Well, you could hardly hear me bloody speak last week.
Well, yeah.
And the week before, we couldn't even do the show because I couldn't talk.
Yeah.
So you know what I mean?
I don't think it's like a linger.
Mine's lingered. It feels like I got a gravelly chest. And but that was the thing when it was kind of like the symptoms were coming up on the news and they were saying, oh, well, the symptoms are shortness of breath, coughing, fever, and I'm sat there sweating my ass off, coughing my lungs up, thinking, oh, this is all ringing bells. I think am I kind of am I on the list here or what? Should I quarantine myself?
Yeah, well, it's too late for you anyway.
Well, that's the problem, you see. This is it. I go up and down the length of the country on public transport,
Well, your immune system should be strong.
Oh, yeah, cracking. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, but other people coughing on you.
But this is the thing as well, because this is what, these face masks, people are wearing these face masks, right? So...
cheap ones are...
They are, it doesn't really matter, but, like, the fact is, people are wearing them, right? Yeah. Now, I noticed Chinese people, especially walking around Manchester, wearing face masks. And I always think, well, as a kid, I was encouraged to go play out and, get a bit dirty and stuff like that and, build your immune system up, right? And, I think that, if you're a nation of wearing fucking face masks, then your immune system can't be as good as, other people's who don't wear them.
That's
for
true.
one.
If you wear glasses though as well, that's even worse because
bacteria on the glass.
The virus can get through your eyes as well as your mouth.
Oh,
so
right,
if you're
okay.
just covering your mouth, it doesn't stop anything from going into your eyes.
Right, okay. I didn't know it could get through your eyes. But,
Yeah.
I think one of the things that kind of was popped in my head as well, when I think I mentioned it to you about like people who use, obviously everyone uses them, detergents, 99.9 Flash and fucking, I don't know, Silly
Dettol.
Bang and Dettol and all the rest of the other brands. But, you go in with the house and you're super spraying your house down with, antibacterial
chemicals.
Right? But obviously we know now that there's good bacteria and there's bad bacteria. You get some Yakult in your stomach, or a bit of natural yogurt.
Yeah.
But the problem is these 99.9% sprays don't recognise or differentiate between what a good bacteria is and the bad bacteria.
Yeah.
It just kills it all.
Well,
99.9% of it.
Well, if you think about it, a quarter of you is bacteria,
So
if not more.
So people are living in these super sterile sort of environments.
Yeah.
They're not letting the kids
Not healthy.
play out, And I mean, when I think about these people with wearing the face masks, I feel like you're making it worse for yourself because you're not letting your natural immune system build up.
Yeah, but it all comes down to what you're being told about.
You've got to be
protecting
exposed
yourself,
to
haven't you?
things before you can be
I think it's 10 to 15 minutes to be exposed to someone who's got this coronavirus. You're more than likely, the chances are higher. So if you start getting ill from there, then, quarantine yourself and call a doc.
Well, there's plenty to talk about, and we'll be coming back to it a bit later on in the show. But first, we ask, what's fucked up where you're from?
Yeah.
Hey, so this week, we've got Gareth.
Yes, we
I
have.
nearly forgot you.
Keep on
I
trucking,
can't
son.
forget you, Gareth. Well, Gareth's got in touch. He's from Chichester.
Yeah.
And he's asked us to have a look into all the fucked up shit that happens round his way.
And there's some
Because he said this quite a bit. And do you know what? He's not wrong.
He's not.
So, did you know Chichester is notorious for smuggling? Or was.
Oh, right.
So, back in the day, in the 1700s especially, there was loads of kind of smuggling going on. There was the Hawkhurst gang and other Chichester smugglers seized. They were all kind of arrested back in 1747 and taken to Poole Customs House for safekeeping. Basically, they took all their goods. So contraband is what they took.
Sick.
Yeah. So basically, a group of thirsty smugglers from Chichester joined forces with 7 members of the Hawkhurst gang and ride to Poole to reclaim their goods.
See?
So yeah, there's a dark history of smuggling in Chichester.
Well, I would have thought around there would have been the Wales, sneaking stuff through Wales, because it was a law. Actually, there still stands an old law that states any Welshman crosses into Britain, you could illegally shoot him.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, he still stands to this day, but...
He could have got away with murder, but...
Yeah, but murder is on the books now, so it's outstanding, basically.
Okay.
Yeah. So it can't be used for those who wish to kill a Welshman.
Well, yeah, drag him over the border.
Yeah.
Well, another strange happening that's gone on in Chichester is the ghost of Elgar Firrellsworth.
All right.
So Edward Elgar was one of England's finest ever composers.
Oh.
His contribution to music left an incredible mark on British culture and British industry. Oh. Elgar is said to have been inspired by the countryside of West Sussex whilst composing his masterpieces. And perhaps the reason why that his ghost is said to roam the hills and the valleys of Sussex.
So he loved the place that much he didn't want to leave?
British paranormal reports have sightings of Elgar's ghost in Ferrellworth, just down the road from Chichester, or in Chichester. So, yeah.
Well, yeah, but then does it count as something in Chichester?
It is. It's
outside?
in Chichester. It's in, right, so Chichester in southeast West Sussex.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But this area,
yeah,
obviously is Fizzleworth, which is a hometown, so it's a town within Chichester.
Right. Okay.
So, and obviously a really lovely English beauty spot.
Yes.
Yeah,
I
so
believe
check it out. Apparently,
Yeah.
you might see Elgar roaming around.
Hey, give me a thumbs up if you see him from me.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
obviously, Chichester's got it going on.
They have.
We've got the 6 most. Well, here's one for you. You've got a load of haunted areas around there
Really?
as well.
I wouldn't have thought it would have been that haunted, to be honest.
Well, you've got the Angel Inn in Petsworth,
Right.
which is supposed to be haunted. It's an 18th century hotel and is reported to be haunted by a ghost of an old lady who died under some tragic circumstances.
I expect any building that is older than 100 years old would have a ghost in it.
This house is over 100 years old though. So
Well,
you know,
Mad Mike did say that.
it might
you know,
does, yeah, but I reckon some people are more receptive to this shit than others.
that
Do you know
is
what I
true.
mean?
Yeah, you have to have an open mind.
So
Kids
yeah.
do.
The Wellerden Down Open Air Museum and historic buildings is basically reported to be haunted. It's basically, it's got loads of ghosts apparently. It's also a pretty amazing place anyway, so you can go and check it out. It's got loads of extra kind of like it looks kind of like Tudor buildings.
All right.
Do you know
okay.
what I mean? And it's also like a historic air museum. So, but it's supposed to be full of ghosts.
Oh, sweet.
And then you've got Brahma Castle.
Brahma Castle.
Yeah, in the village of Brahma is home to a ruined castle from the Norman era.
Oh,
and
nice.
it can date back to 1070.
Jesus, that's
So yeah, but
long way back.
they reckon it's kind of haunted with the ghosts of English Civil War folk.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah.
So, probably a little bit of a battleground going on there.
Yeah, well, there you go. There's loads of stuff going on in Chichester.
Yeah, it sounds like a busy place, actually.
Yeah, totally. Well, apparently there's loads more going on because they've actually got loads of urban legends, yeah, which go from smuggling, obviously fairies,
Yeah.
trolls, fucking all sorts. Yeah, it's actually got so much urban legends to it that it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Pretty mythical place to live, if you like.
See?
So there you go. That's what's fucked up in Chichester, in his town. So if you've got a fucked up town and you want to get in touch, drop us a line, and you can send us an email at neverstraightanswer@gmail.com, and you can tell us where you live, give us a bit of information about the background, and we could be featuring you in our segment.
Yes,
so,
we will.
There you go.
Most
So
definitely.
back to the topic.
Yes.
What do you reckon? So I think.
Well, I've got a little bit of a conspiracy.
Go on then. What's your conspiracy about it?
Well, if you remember a while back, I was talking about how there was a document coming out about how the American military was going down to Africa to biological playing about with bats. Basically,
Oh, yeah, you did say
biological
this.
warfare. Now, not far from there, ended up in Mangina, was where the outbreak of Ebola started there.
Yeah.
Roughly around about 2 months after, from what I've seen. Now, China is moved into Africa quite a lot they're doing their own projects. Now, one of the projects would have been for food like bats, because apparently this has all come from bats. This outbreak is supposed to have been, but now it's supposed to be something else. You were saying, I believe.
Yeah. Yeah, because basically, from what I gather, this whole thing started because there was a doctor who's now unfortunately passed away of the fucking virus himself.
Did you hear about the whistling and that in China?
No.
There was whistling and shouting out his name.
Really?
Yeah, they did a.
Well,
like a
the guy was an
tribute kind of
absolute hero because when everybody else was going, fuck off, there's nothing to worry about, he was really kind of pushing the fact that there was something going on.
Yeah.
So even when he was kind of ill with it, he was still treating patients and helping people. Yeah. So, in terms of the timeline of things...
summertime, I believe. Last year it started.
Well...
From the indication where I've... And that's from information from people within China.
Well, I've got it from here. So basically, December 31st to 2019, right?
Yeah.
Cases of the phenomena basically started. It was started to be detected in Wuhan.
Yeah.
The first reported case to the World Health Organization.
Yeah.
During this reported period, the virus was unknown. The case occurred between December 12th and 29th, according to Wuhan Municipal Health.
Yeah.
Right? So, the 1st of January, China health authorities closed the human seafood wholesale market.
Yeah.
Right? Because that's where he said that the first reported cases were coming from, this hero doctor.
Yeah.
Right? At first, they did think it might be bats. Because obviously they do have a lot of kind of...
Actually, they thought it was fish first.
Well, it's a fish market. It's a fish and rare animal market.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
So the point being is, though, they eat a lot of kind of strange foods, right?
Yeah.
Bats...
Different species.
Even endangered species were being sold at this market, right?
Yeah.
Now, one of the endangered species that they think might be the cause is rather an anteater or an armadillo.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now they're endangered or they're on the list.
Yeah.
And they shouldn't be eaten.
Yeah.
But they were being sold there, right?
Yeah.
And it's not uncommon for people to want to eat kind of rare and exotic meats. Do you know what I mean? So they closed down the market after it was discovered that it was a wild animal sold there might be the source of the virus. So that was January 1st.
Yeah.
January 5th, China announces that the unknown phenomena caused in Wuhan and not SARS or MERS, in a statement to Wuhan Municipal Health Community, saying that it was a retrospective probe into the outbreak. Yeah, has been identified. So, and basically people are getting infected.
Yeah,
so
2 died, didn't they? 2 died in that area. 1 person in Japan, 1 person in South Korea, and 1 person in the Philippines were infected, apparently. But then after a little time, 3rd person died, and then it persisted. To me, it's persisted 3 people at one time, 3 people every other day.
Yeah.
But it seems at the minute now it's every 6 days it doubles.
Well, on January the 7th, the Chinese authority announced that they'd identified the virus as a novel corona virus named 2019 nCoV by the WHO.
Right, so that's its name now.
Yeah, that's the name.
Right.
By January the 11th, they basically announced that the first death caused by the coronavirus was a 61-year-old man exposed to the virus at the seafood market and died on the 9th of January from respiratory failure caused by severe, inflammation and fucking...
I believe it grows, those who are badly infected in the chest, it grows like little like lumps, and it stops the breathing. Right,
okay. Yeah. So it sort of inflames your breathing...
Yeah, basically you're suffocating.
Yeah, fucking hell, that's horrible. Oh, that is horrible.
Yeah.
So basically, then Thai authorities on the 13th of January reported a case of infection caused by the coronavirus. And it basically infected individuals. Is basically just Chinese nationals arrived from Wuhan.
Yeah.
So. Yeah. Obviously it started getting out of the country then, didn't it? Because obviously it wasn't at a stage where they felt like they had to, do anything, close airports or anything, but people were travelling.
Yeah.
And people travel a long way in a day. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, you know...
And it's the time of year where it's the holiday. They've got a 2-week holiday.
Yeah, exactly.
Which has now been extended. I think it's an extra week. A lot of people have been extended to. But this is another time where there's no delivery is going to be taken to cities and stuff like that, and there's going to be no work, so you won't be able to work, so nothing will get delivered, nothing's going to get done. So when the economy's going to get a little bit squashed as well. It's already hitting the economy now.
Well, it's funny that talking about how kind of like, you know, people travel and stuff like that. But like 17th of January, actually, the US reported the outbreak by screening for symptoms at the airports in San Francisco, New York, and LA.
Yeah, they were one of the first to. Actually.
So what? They actually had people, you know, come over with it.
Yeah, there was actually one over there. I think there was a couple of days.
So the chances are that it's been contained fully. It's pretty rare. I don't think that it has been.
Think it has been contained enough.
Well,
compared to the SARS one, yeah, no, without a doubt, and it's already bypassed the SARS.
And this is an example of how fucking fast this is getting spreading. Because January the 20th, China reported 139 new cases.
Yeah,
right. So how many
ridiculous.
cases had there been up to that point? Probably not that many.
But the World Health Organization put out a report saying that they believe that when the start of this, that there was already 45,000 people that had probably got infected, but then the very next day it was 100,000, and the day after that 150,000. It seemed to go
started
up.
To snowball quite rapidly, didn't it?
This is what the belief of one report that come out from.
Well, basically then the officials in Washington State confirmed the first case in the US anyway on 21st. By the 22nd, Wuhan basically temporarily closed their airports, railways. Any departing passengers were stopped. And the coronavirus had risen from 17 to 547 cases on the mainland.
Yeah, and this is like 11 million people who were moving around. And there had already been about a quarter of them that had already moved out before everything had been closed down. And it seems like the towns are proper dead, man.
Well, by January 29th, the White House announces that the formation of the new task force will help monitor and contain the spread of the virus to ensure Americans are not going to catch it and keep up to date with the travel information.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So, obviously, Donald Trump, even going up to the end of January, he was basically making announcements. The UK was saying, come home.
Yeah, the first country to do it. Actually.
Yeah, totally. So, I mean, it was getting bad. I mean, it's getting bad. So, even now, where are we now? We're like mid-February.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's got to the point where we've got people who are in quarantine in the UK.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're all being kind of taken to the Wirral.
I believe 28 countries there are people who have been quarantined.
So how do you know that there's not people who are just on the streets now, right, who have contracted the virus, feel a bit off colour, like I've got a fucking cough, like, but...
And spreading it around.
How do I know I'm not spreading it around, right?
Be.
But, it's mad because you can't contain something like that. What are we going to do? Close down Britain and say we can't travel anywhere? Is it going to come to a grinding halt where, because we haven't been to Wuhan and because we haven't been here or there, and we think we're okay because we're at home.
Oh, no.
That's the thing.
Because we're too close together now.
We could all have it now, or people could have it now and just feel like they've got a flu.
Yeah.
But... and think, I couldn't have that. I've not been anywhere. Do you know what I mean? But,
yeah.
What are the chances, I'm saying, is it travelling over here and, the general population of the UK, America, Russia, other countries around the world?
For like the World Health Organization or the CDC.
I've never known a flu to be taken so seriously where the government... Where officials in the UK, in China, are all walking around in hazmat suits,
Yeah.
If you've got any contact with patients or anything like that, it's absolutely kind of next level.
Yeah,
thing.
but I think it's showing how serious it.
But they didn't do this with SARS or any other virus that I've ever seen.
That's because China.
It's like the start of 28 days later.
China didn't say anything till the last moment, and China wasn't agreeing to do what like the World Health Organization or the CDC to try and stop it. So that was the problem. But this time they've been brilliant on it up to now. But I believe that it's already spread around because of
there you go.
what I've
SARS.
heard about how people have stated how it started in summertime. This all started in summertime.
Well,
and
I haven't
even
eaten
people
any
died.
armadillos. This
Well-
is fucking joke. If I, you know what I mean?
Well,
And this is the thing. It's like, because some fucking dickhead out there, had a fucking penchant for an armadillo sandwich one day, or whatever it was, then everybody else has to suffer. You know what I mean? This is the problem. I mean, this is
We've all got that problem.
one step for veganism, you know what I mean? Because it's like, well, their answer would be, well, if you didn't eat meat, then this wouldn't happen, would it? Because at the end of the day, we don't eat meat, so we're not going to contract any sort of fucking armadillo virus, are we?
Where did the flu originate from?
But the downshot is, them vegans are so fucking malnourished that it's like literally their immune system's shot. They'll get it anyway.
Well, yeah,
You
you can't
fucking-
fight it
there
off.
you go.
But where did we get the flu from?
Monkeys.
Chickens.
Chickens.
Because we started using them as a business and started putting them together, and all the filth and not cleaning them properly, and the spread of disease. It's past to the human barrier, because we've all got barriers against.
Yeah, that's
diseases
true,
and
actually,
that
yeah, of course.
with other animals.
And plus making a concentrated, like you say, a battery sort of hen situation where you've got a lot of kind of waste and it's...
Humans should be close to an animal.
This is how the plague started, isn't it? From like, infected rats and squalor and
This is it,
living in fucking filth, basically.
We haven't learned from the lessons of the past.
Talking about plagues and stuff, though. Do you realise that the last major plague was in 1820?
Yeah.
And 1920, and the one before that was in 1820.
Yeah, the Spanish flu.
Yeah.
And I can't remember.
It's probably just the Black Death.
plague. Yeah.
So the Black Death, the Spanish flu,
But they put
and
this
now
as possibly
the
the Spanish flu. Possibly that there's been. It's a possible that because it's still forming, it's still changing. Because
well, no, they've actually said they've run tests on it, and they've said that it's actually not changed, which is a good thing because if it's not mutating, then they can have a better shot at curing it.
But it's got, as it's spreading round, it's got chance to mutate, and more that it's spreading round to more people, say the whole population gets it, then there's a big chance.
Well, I think at the
that
moment,
it will mutate.
at the moment they're saying it's not. So I think there is a possibility that it could, but at this present, they're kind of happy that it's not because, like I say, it can kind of give them a shot at giving it a fucking good, good effort at trying to find a vaccine for it.
Well, yeah,
And
but there's
then-
only 3 ways really how to deal with it.
It's what they're saying is, though, it's the ethical things about it as well, because last time there was one of these sort of outbreaks, it took them fucking months before they could get the permissions to kind of get all the bullshit through, the red tape through.
Yeah.
So I think they're being a bit more lenient on those things, or they're hoping they will be.
And that shows how serious it is.
Exactly, because obviously there's a lot of countries who are working on a fucking cure right now, or a vaccine.
Yeah.
But again, is it going to be one of those things? It's like where like you say, who's invested in chemical research or medicines? Do you know what I mean?
Well, in normal flu, it's 1 in 1,000 that dies from the flu. In this case, it's 1 in 500 at the moment. But the way I'm seeing it is, with what I'm seeing, I think it's a little bit higher than that. Now, SARS was 10% of people would die. This is 2% officially at the moment. There was a mathematical, a maths genius who did a mathematical to it.
Well,
and basically put that within 50 days, if it hasn't slowed down within 50 days, and it goes worldwide, it would be worldwide basically, and around about 8 to 18 million people.
Well, it's the coronavirus has just exceeded the SARS fatalities.
Yeah.
You know, I think it is a serious thing, and I think, you know,
we haven't got a grip yet either.
Yeah,
We're still learning so much of it, because 80% of it is sort of like the SARS, but it's the 20% extra.
They're up to 800. The death toll is 800 and something.
Is that how far has it gone up?
Yeah. It's 810 plus. At this point, it's probably a bit more.
Yeah.
But you know, obviously, in a month,
no,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's been 6 weeks since this kind of came out, right? He's only got named fucking a month ago. Yeah. To the point where,
because Corona is the name of it because of the way, the shape of it, and it's a part of the Corona virus, which is like, you know, flu, basically.
It's in the flu family.
Yeah.
But this is the thing, is it's like, you know, different levels. I remember getting the bird flu.
Yeah.
And it was the worst thing I ever went through. It was the worst flu I've ever had.
Yeah.
It was horrible. And they recommended flu buddies.
Yeah, you know what? I heard about a guy who actually had it, and he ended up having old, like, flu medicine and stuff. You know, like a Beecham's or something.
Yeah.
And he cured himself.
Well,
it's like,
there's a guy in China who's a British citizen.
Yeah.
He got the virus.
Yeah.
He was in hospital, you know, with, you know, symptoms and stuff.
Yeah.
Said he cured it with a hot toddy.
Yeah.
Traditional, you know, traditional old wives' tales sort of things. And knocked a couple of hot toddies back.
Sweet as a nut.
Cured himself.
Going out
so,
to
you know,
dances.
I think, again, it's all about your immune system and how you can handle these things. And obviously, some people are stronger than others.
He's been out playing him.
What? Bit of footy, a bit of rugby.
Yeah, he's been in the dirt. He's played a little wrestling. Yeah.
So, you know, he's gone, you know, what do you do when you've got a cold? Have a bit of a hot toddy.
Yeah.
You know, dose yourself up.
Well, they don't recommend you should have alcohol if you got it.
Why not?
Because the alcohol drops your immune a bit, so
of course it does.
Stops you fighting. You know.
Yeah, but you stick a bit of honey and lemon in it as well. Do you know what I mean?
Well, yeah, the honey will be good. It'll give you a bit of a chance, but lemon, good cleaning agent. Yeah.
Well, here's a bit of a good one for you. But basically, 2 students. Gone out there for, you know, bit of a gap in the market here. They were researching, you know, masks, face masks.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. They were going to buy themselves some.
Yeah.
And they were like, there's not very many people selling them here.
No.
But they managed to find a closing down business.
Oh, right.
Who had shitloads of them, right? So they bought all these masks off this company.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably at a good cost.
At a very good price of 17p. For a pack of 10.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Spent a fortune, spent a few quid on buying these masks. Do you know what I mean? Because he bought them off a closing down business. Yeah. Went on eBay and sold them for £8 each.
Oh, man.
Yeah. So, you know, obviously, you know,
there's always a silver lining.
There's a silver lining. Yeah. These lads, you know, they've gone in there, they've stuck these face masks on these websites for £8 each. Made £10,500 in a week.
In a week?
Yep.
Shit,
so basically, this is the demand at the moment for these face masks.
But the cheap ones are
that's it. It's like if it's just a bit of fucking cloth, how reliable is that going to be? You need something with a filter that's going to kind of actually stop shit getting in there.
To be honest,
you know what I mean?
To be honest, I won't even bother because I think like everyone's feeling down. Everyone feels like they've got this, like, you know, lingering
we don't want to be, we're not saying that, you know, we're not being down on everything and saying that this is going to be like, you know, the end of us, because it sounded a bit kind of conspiracy fucking heavy before, like where we're
we're just
it's all good, we're gonna all die.
We're just opening the minds and suggestions that
makes me think though, could the zombie apocalypse be finally upon us?
Well, it helps the West because if this goes worldwide, the UN brought out reports saying that the Middle East and everyone basically who's not an ally of the US will economically have a bad time. So that really helps the West in a way. You know what I mean?
Have you heard the coronavirus conspiracy linked with Resident Evil?
Yeah.
So the conspiracy is, Grief Burrito put a meme up. I think they sent it, you didn't. It was a meme they put up on Twitter, and I was like, do you know what? It's pretty good, that, right?
Yeah.
And it's basically Raccoon City, in Resident Evil.
Yeah.
If you don't know what Resident Evil is, it's a fucking zombie outbreak, right?
Franchise.
And it's done by a corporation, right? So they put out the virus, under the Umbrella Corporation.
Yeah.
So the Umbrella Corporation is got the similar logo. To who's that?
Basically, it's an umbrella with like red and white stripes, but in this case, it's blue and white stripes under a similar kind of name. But I can't remember the name.
Apparently, coronavirus or corona is an anagram of raccoon. Yeah, but it's not because there's a C missing. Yeah. But that's the conspiracy, isn't it? That's the clue. That's the key. The C is the conspiracy.
Or for corona.
Oh, well, for corona. Yeah. So.
Yeah, it's always
there's always C missing, but it's an anagram kind of raccoon. Yeah.
Right.
Obviously, the plot is very fucking similar.
Yeah.
But there's this conspiracy. The Umbrella Corporation logo is similar to Wuhan's. I think it's Wuhan's.
It also
medical fucking center or something stupid.
Makes me think of stuff that, you know what we.
Oh wait, yeah. That's right. It's the biotech lab, right?
Yeah.
So it is odd that the Umbrella Corporation logo is oddly similar to the Wuhan biotech labs.
Yeah.
And obviously it's biotech. Yeah. So it is a bit fucking shady. Yeah. I've actually got that Umbrella Corporation on my fridge. It's on my fridge magnet on my fridge.
Fucking bastard.
It's
fucking part of the Umbrella Corporation.
Part of the problem, not part of the solution.
Yeah.
Yeah, so another thing that, has been kind of concerning me is the that cruise ship.
Yeah.
You've heard about this cruise ship, haven't you?
There's a few in there.
The Diamond Princess.
Yeah, the main one,
is basically, it was a ship in Japan. It's in Japan's quarantine, being quarantined after passengers were diagnosed with corona.
Yeah, weren't there about 2 and now
it was 10 basically. So somebody, what happened was, he was a chap who was on board.
Yeah,
he went as far as say Korea.
Yeah,
and then got off.
Yeah,
right. He said he was complaining, he was feeling ill.
Yeah,
and got off. Just went off.
What the
boat?
Fuck?
Right. I'm not sure if his holiday was over and he got off at that stop. I don't know. Right. But he apparently got off the boat. Right. This is according to a guy who was actually on it. Right. And he's been really good as well, because this chap was saying that the communication between the staff and, he was on a cruise and everything was great and it was fucking party time.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden it's more like a prison because they're not allowed to leave the rooms.
Yeah.
Some of them haven't even got balconies, or they're in, cabin, small cabins.
Shouldn't be a cheap bastard then, should you?
Well, no, because it's, these boats they've got a lot of rooms that haven't got. You pay extra for a cabin or a window,
exactly.
A balcony or a window. The guy who was, doing all this stuff on social media, he was lucky enough to have a balcony. He could kind of get a bit of fresh air, but there was a lot of people just in a little box with no light, no windows, no exercise. And after a couple of days, the health people came in to do a few kind of tests on him.
Yeah.
And it came back that 10 of them were sick with the virus. They don't know if they've been taken off the boat, if they're still on the boat,
I believe they got took off.
Well, more people have been diagnosed with it since.
Yeah.
But like apparently the captain's been a bit more lenient, letting them get out and about, but they've all got to wear masks but they were also
a good
saying,
example to see what would happen.
Well, this is what they were saying, because it's also it's a good example of kind of how they can find a cure, because it's an isolated. There's nowhere else in the world where they've got a selection of people on an isolated raft in the middle of the sea.
Yeah.
Where they can do
no harm apart from who's ever on the boat at that time.
So to bring them off, I don't understand why they would have. Do you know what I mean?
Well, I believe there was some taken off and quarantined.
Right. Okay.
So there's so many countries now. Like I said, there's 28 countries that have got quarantine for certain people now. That like every country's trying to invest and trying to work out how to stop this. And
Wuhan are expecting it to get so much worse that in the like sort of sports arena or whatever, they were putting out cots, beds, and they were filling the place with them.
They've built two
emergency hospitals, haven't they? Like
in 10 days.
Yep.
The first one and the second one even faster.
Yeah. So it's like, are they expecting something even more extreme?
Well, this makes me think about
it does seem like they're preparing for it.
About in the past.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we've talked about some stuff like this, and like you know, I think to go to those levels, I mean, they're all rocking around in hazmat suits.
Yeah,
you know, they're preparing for something that seems to be a bit too. I mean, 800 plus people. It's very serious, right? But it was like you were saying about you know. Survival of the fittest, how people, you know, if this is a control thing to get rid of a percentage of the population,
New World Order,
then is it for the, you know, are they getting rid of the weak and the sick?
Yeah,
the weak and the old,
because
obviously people who've got respiratory problems, asthma, you know, the elderly who are going, and it's unfortunate. It's like so sad that, you know, this is happening.
Well, this is why it makes me think, like, the stuff that we've talked about over the past in the news about, you know, there's certain things, the New World Order have done this, or Alliance have done this, or this has happened. There's parts of it now that make me think that there's a bigger picture than we're connecting together. And if I connect some of these dots together, it seems, you know, a practical way of control.
Yeah, that's it, isn't it? Well, 3 patients in England have been tested positive with the coronavirus. That's as of, like, you know, the latest reports. So we've got
2 from Newcastle.
Chief Medical Officers for England, Professor Chris Whitter, has shared a statement basically saying if any more cases are confirmed in the UK, they'll be announced as soon as possible. And the Chief Medical Officer will be basically letting people know as soon as. Based on the World Health Organization's declaration that this is a public health emergency, they're basically saying that
it's nearly a pandemic.
The UK have basically said to any UK citizens or British citizens in China to just come home because they're saying it's, you know, even though it goes against World Health Organization's sort of guidelines,
you're starting to spread it, even though you're going to quarantine.
Is it because the UK think that we feel like we can kind of handle whatever, you know, bring our people home and we'll deal with it?
Well, no, I think right from the beginning it was put as very low. Then a couple of days afterwards, it was put to low. It's been put now to medium. By next week, it'll be probably put to just above medium. It seems to be, and they're taking it serious, so it should show. And like we seen the video just before we did this.
Where there was somebody who didn't want to go to quarantine, and they were dragged out.
Dragged out of it.
There's a lot of these videos. I mean, I saw a video and I don't know how true it is, and it was somebody who'd run away from the hospital and got shot. So I'm not sure. You know, you know, you don't know what's true or what's not, and especially people are playing a lot of pranks with this at the moment as well.
Yeah, they should.
Basically, the health organisation at the moment is saying that anybody travelling, who have travelled to the UK from mainland China, Thailand, Japan, Republic of Korea, Hong Kong, Taiwan, Singapore, Malaysia, or any of the other places, in the last 14 days, who were experiencing coughs, shortness of breath, to stay. See, that's what I've got.
Yeah.
Coughs and shortness of breath, to stay indoors and call NHS 111 if the symptoms are mild.
I've had that. I've had that.
That's what we're saying. We've been both saying this for the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, and I'd still get little shortness of breath, but not a major one. So
when the week before last, we had to cancel the show. I could hardly kind of take an inhale.
Yeah,
you can probably hear it in me.
Yeah, and you've been coughing like fuck, man.
Yeah, I know.
In between.
But this is it. You're walking down the street and people look at you like, oh, I'm staying away from him.
But that's what the World Health Organization is saying. Like,
stay indoors.
If you think you've got it, quarantine yourself for 14 days.
Yeah.
Ring the doc and find out, what you can do.
Well, as of February the 8th, a total of 686 UK tests have been concluded, of which 683 were confirmed negative. So chances are we could go and get a test and they could go, nah, you sweet, you've just got a cough. Go home.
Then again, they could say the
go home, you pussy.
Now, there's been one case up to now of someone dying outside of China, which was in...
right, no, I've got the sniffles.
Philippines. But it's now the next cases of how many people outside of China are going to be the ones who die. See, we've got it that inside China there's a lot of people dying, but outside China, when it starts getting outside that, then it's sort of like the next level of, oh shit, we've got the next level up.
Yeah, something's going down here now.
I mean, this is it.
Outside. The good thing is that they have kind of jumped on it, and it's
yeah.
people like that guy, that doctor, who have, who clocked onto things early,
and China at the minute
blew the whistle on it,
blowing the world out of the mind that they're doing.
He passed away, didn't he, the other day, because obviously he contracted the virus whilst trying to help everybody. And fucking,
it's a good celebration of him, though.
I hope. Take my hat off to you, sir.
Yeah, man.
Definitely. So, you know what I mean.
It's just a shame the government weren't listening.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the guy was proper fucking telling them, but
But I suppose
you can lead an horse to water, but you can't
yeah.
make it drink.
Yeah.
So
just shows you how they don't listen to you and they do what they want.
So, have you got anything else you want to add to this?
Let's see. There are 3 different ways they can tackle it, which is 1 by messing with DNA, or 2 messing with RNA, or 3 making your white blood cells basically detect the virus quicker. There are little ways they can do that. So the cure's going to be in one of their ways, but I think in the DNA way it's going to be a little longer.
Well,
RNA possibly a little shorter, but the best way at the moment would be to get your own body to fight against it, to see if it can, bring an anti bacteria to actually have the
an anti
because someone's going to get it,
or a virus, a vaccine.
Yeah, all we really need now is one of the people who've actually got it actually have an antidote within themselves. All they need to do. So in another way, the more more people get it, the more chance we can find an antidote faster.
That's
it's
true.
Just
that
catch-22 in it.
Well, a few facts here about the virus. More than 17,000 people worldwide are infected with the novel corona.
Yeah.
Novel corona.
Yeah.
It's such a pretty one. No, I'm not going to do that.
I think it's more severe.
There's been more deaths on mainland China during the SARS outbreak due to it.
Yes.
The World Health Organization has stepped up the fight against the confusion and misinformation around the coronavirus.
Yeah, that's good.
Which is very decent, because obviously there's a lot of worried people out there.
Yeah.
So chances are you won't get it. You haven't got it. If you've got a few symptoms that are like me, I'm a fucking one. I'm not a hypochondriac, but you know what I mean. It does pop in your head. So
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Especially when it's on the news so much, and then all of a sudden you're like, yeah.
You've got to think now as well that you might be that golden nugget that actually might be the cure.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? The chances of either of them happening to you are very short.
You're the chosen one, like a Neo, like what was that film? There was a film like that actually, wasn't there, where he was like, he was immune to the cure.
Yeah.
Wasn't it like the Death Race or something like that? No, not Death Race. Maze Runner.
Maze. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and it turned out one of them was like had the blood of the purest.
Right, yeah.
I don't know.
I never seen the last part.
Well,
I saw the first and the second one.
So the Nova 2019 NCOV virus.
2019 what?
NCOV.
NCOV, okay.
Yeah, has been detected in 23 countries, with more than like say 17,000 people confirmed.
Yeah.
So
up to now.
Well, there you go. I think that's pretty much. We've got a lot of information.
Yeah.
I hope you don't worry too much. It's one of them, isn't it? It's like it's like when SARS did happen, bird flu and all that. Yeah.
Probably got more chance of winning a lottery, to be honest.
Yeah. So as long as you're not going fucking China or I mean, people do. This is the thing. It's the destinations people want to go to.
Yeah.
So beautiful countries.
Yeah.
And amazing people and all the rest of it, and I'm sure this is devastating for China.
Yeah,
in
gotta
fact,
give a shout out.
Doesn't
to
it
the
feel
family
like there's something going on in every fucking country at the moment? You've got got stuff going on like these massive fires and floods in Australia.
Yeah.
Then you've got outbreaks in China.
Yeah.
You've got little wars going on.
Yeah.
There's something going on every
little
5
civil
minutes.
matters as well.
Yeah,
like
Brexit going on. It is a very kind of unrest period, if you like. A little period of unrest in the world.
Yeah, but
what I think, because it's like I say, I was walking through Manchester a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah,
and it felt like chaos. You know what I mean? And I felt like this is scaled down. Do you know what I mean? This is a little area of the world. Yeah. But if this is happening everywhere, which it kind of is,
everyone wants a chunk.
Wow.
There just ain't enough chunk around for everyone to use.
Yeah, true that.
You know what I mean? And it doesn't help with...
But what I'm saying is, I don't know it doesn't help with all this shit going on. Yeah.
But sometimes it has to happen.
Oh, yeah, I know what you're saying. It's like Pompeii Falls, fucking Roman empires, all these things. They happen and, we get to a pinnacle and then shit happens.
Yeah.
The plague happened.
We're in the 5th age of
we're in... Yeah, but this is it. We should have learned from our... We should learn from our, mistakes. Because it seems that we don't do that. And then, but... And it's,
pollution hasn't helped. This is probably what fucking caused.
What humanity does is we create new problems for ourselves.
Yeah,
so we'll go.
Time.
Do you know what? We'll dabble with genetics. We'll have a bit of a dabble with. Do you know what would be really good? Biological warfare.
Yeah. Let's go and see some bats.
So you know what, mate? There's a building somewhere. There's buildings all over the world where the Centers for Disease Control, fucking all these CDC.
There's one in there. There was one that had loads of viruses.
How do you know that some shit didn't leak out, or what happens if the building gets destroyed and all this stuff gets released?
Yeah.
Do you know how? It's
what do we do with our waste?
It's the most dangerous shit in the world.
Yeah.
All in one place.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And then then you've got to think, well, what if it is introduced by a man's introduced it? We're talking about 12 Monkeys.
Yes.
Yeah. That is a film about, a virus that is going to be unleashed. Yeah. And how, it was invented in a lab.
Yeah.
And all it took was a guy to just pop the cap off a fucking test tube.
And let it
loose.
Yeah.
At an airport.
Yeah.
Yeah. And people are fucking flying off. And it's all over the world. You know what I mean?
I reckon at this day and age, you can genetically engineer a virus to just attack a certain kind of person.
What, like
or genetically
gingers.
Attack one person. You could get one to genetically just attack one person.
You probably could if it had a DNA target.
Yeah.
Like sort of something to say, like it was just a cold virus or a deadly virus that would just attack. Ah, fucking hell, there you go. There's a method of getting away with murder.
We're getting into a future where we're messing with things which we have done for a long time.
But it progresses. This is what I'm saying. We open a can of worms for ourselves.
Yeah.
Because it always seems to be like,
this would be mint. This would be great if we get it. Oh, we'll spread it all around, and then we find out. Oh no, actually, it's
it'll be our undoing because it'll be the next thing that people want to have a play around with.
Yeah.
The next discovery that will create a load more viruses and a load more illnesses and a load more dangers for us to fight against.
They're going to sort out this climate change? They will not get off their ass and do it. You're lucky if you get... Well, you've got George Soros now at the moment who's just putting $1 billion into looking into climate change. Hold on, son. You were one of him who fucking started it. You're one of him who hadn't helped from the fucking beginning.
Maybe he feels guilty.
So now guilty. He's guilty of a lot of things.
But this is it though. It's like, you know, these people who are in power in Parliament now, you know, are the generation that, you know, fucked it up.
Yeah.
It's in terms of what the youth are saying. Yeah. The youth are saying that these guys, you know, the older generation are selfish.
Yeah.
Because they're not looking out for them. They're not looking because.
Yeah, but that's only because that's what we were.
Well, no, they're basically saying, well, they're selfish for not looking after the planet and not, you know, they're not asked because they're at the end of their lives. Similar thing to the Brexit thing. They're saying people are selfish for those reasons because by the time the changes come in, they're not even going to be fucking around.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
But in a way, a lot of this is the public's fault because they're the ones who are going out paying the money for the actual item for the industry to grow. Now, if they didn't do that, do you really think there's going to be an industry?
Well,
so a part of it is us, but part of it is because we're being given stuff that we can afford because we've been given cheap labour.
We're a consumer society because we just basically like, you know, life's shit, so it's like we go out and try and
control.
We try and kind of make our fucking our days a bit better by working hard, and you want a little something out of it. So, you know, most people will treat themselves to something.
You were saying about
do you know
the
what I
rich.
mean? But that's not very much that you'll get. You're only getting a little slice of the pie. The rest of it goes back to the economy, back to the system.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And unless you want to be on the streets and have nothing, you've got to play by those rules.
Yeah.
So you kind of you know, you appreciate the fact that you've treated yourself and bought yourself a new top or a new pair of trainers.
Yeah.
But for all the work you've done over the month, that's not very much.
No.
Do you know what I mean?
No.
But the fact is, we go, well, I've got a roof over my head and I've got food in the cupboards and stuff. But you're paying for a privilege that you should overpriced privilege, because do you know what, you'd probably be alright just to pay for your amenities like your roof over your head and your food in your cupboards if you didn't have to pay all the tax that comes with being in the system.
Is it. Half your wages, even more than half your wages, is gone before you even.
It's a crazy world we live in, isn't it?
It's stupid, and everyone knows it. That like shops, you got too many big shops. If you had more little shops, you could pay tax. That tax pays for the area.
That's what it used to be like, innit? It used to be like, you know, your mum and pop stores or corner shops or you know,
pay a bean.
You know, unique sort of places where you could get something a bit different. Whereas now, it's no matter where I am, I can go into a chain supermarket or
Get
you know,
Walmart.
and as the Walmart, and it's the same everywhere I go because I know the layout, I know what they sell, I know exactly what I'm getting. Yeah. Whereas, you know, I was thinking about this. I went back in the 80s. Supermarkets used to be quite small.
Yeah,
but
like
you'd
extras,
you could still do a weekly shopping one.
Yeah,
and you'd come out and fill your cupboards.
You could in a normal shop.
But that's what I'm saying now. They ram it with, you know, so many kind of impulse buys and stuff that you don't really need.
Look at all them bric-a-brac shops that have been closed down.
How do you mean?
I've noticed. Where was it? I went the other day to somewhere.
Most high streets are fucking shut down nowadays. Do you know what I mean? It's like there's no need for them. Even they build retail outlet malls, where nothing even goes in them. There's a couple in Manchester, the Lowry Centre, which basically was empty for a long time. There's a few shops, but nobody ever really went there. And then there's another one, Great Northern in Manchester, which, again, they kitted it out to make it out in this nice little sort of like entertainment complex, put a cinema in there. Literally, most people only go to the cinema. There's nothing else in there.
Now, do you know why the shops are going under? Big reason why the shops are going under.
It's in the internet, because most people can buy stuff online, and the fact that
investors,
you don't have to pay for overheads.
Well, there's actually, especially over here, there's actually a corporation that buys shops, and their rents have been going high, and they've stayed the rents Now, with them rents, they will not...
Nice
They
one.
will not put down the rent. They do not give a fuck.
Oh, I know they
about
don't.
dropping the rent. So
Well, the
them
way
businesses are going
but at the
under
end of the
because
day,
their rents are going up.
but look at the high streets now.
So they've
These
got
landlords have got to kind of open their eyes and go, do you know what? I'm not going to get anything for my shop now
It's true.
because my rent's too high.
Yeah.
Now I need to put just knock my rent down. Start that trend where it's affordable for people to rent a premises and start a business. Do you know what I mean? Where
It will
I
have to go that way at one point.
I'd like a nice little photography studio.
Yeah.
Can't afford the rent. It's
No.
too expensive, not with running a house and everything else as well.
Yeah.
But the fact is, if I could afford one, then
You'd get one.
I'd get one.
Yeah, same here.
There's plenty of shops and kind of high street and little villages where, you know, all these chains have moved in but then moved out or drove these mum and pop shops out because there's a supermarket up the road that can do it way cheaper, you know.
And then they've closed down and then they decided, right, I'm moving out now.
Start that trend of making them affordable for the youth who want to start a business, who want to open a boutique fucking business, who want to do, you know, fucking health products or, you know, gym products or anything, you know, whatever fishing, whatever your fucking goal in life is, you want to set up a small business, make it happen, make it affordable for the kids of tomorrow to fucking do.
Well,
because at the moment,
sorry for the kids of
they
tomorrow.
went to try and rent a premises, they'd be like, fucking hell, can't really afford that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So, you know,
that's double what I was even thinking of.
Yeah, exactly.
Near enough.
I went to have a look at one of these. It was in a like an old converted mill, and it was studios to rent. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
So it was literally only like you paying for square foot.
Yeah.
And literally, it's just partition walls, and they try and get as many studios in as possible. Really.
Yeah.
And it was like fucking £200 a month, you know. And I was thinking,
you do better than that.
it's expensive, do you know, for what it is. You know, I mean, it's a third of some people's rent.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So,
but
it's one of them, innit?
It's just the way society's going at the minute.
For something that you'd only use now and then as well, do you know? Especially,
you do realise it's going to get more expensive.
How do you mean?
And the reason why is because of the if we are going to do the change, first off, the change is too long. But at a certain point, you're going to need that.
No, but this is it. Now we've entered into this Brexit thing, right? Now the government should be incentivising people to open small businesses.
Yeah,
get the high streets back.
Without a doubt.
Invest into the high streets. Get these shops filled up with really unique fucking unique cafes and bistros and like fucking little artisan shops. You know what I mean? Make it so that the tourists want to come to the UK.
Yeah.
So they can come. It's fucking beautiful, the UK. Have you been to this village? Oh my God, there's such amazing fucking little shops and pastries and all the rest of it.
Yeah.
Make it like that. You know what I mean?
Well, this is it, but
there needs to be a bit of a change with this high street fucking closing down, because it seems that all that's on a high street now is fucking the same bullshit and Starbucks and Costa Coffee.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, or like 10 takeaways in one row.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah. Take away, you know,
because the takeaway. But this is the thing. Then we're over flooding the market with that, because it's like obviously by having more choice,
and then you want cheaper, so it's going to be even cheaper meat.
Back in the day when it was one chippy in every estate, and it was like they made a killing because everyone on the estate went to that chipper.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. And if they didn't like it, they go to another village, or you know, you could get an Uber of it now.
You can make your chips at home.
Yeah.
Back in the day,
yeah.
Get the chip pan on.
Hell yeah, I do that.
Fucking
now.
hell.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Uber.
Yeah.
It was like I was actually thinking
I say
this.
that about McDonald's and that when they deliver at home. You know what I mean?
I was thinking
put a burger on.
I was thinking this the other day. Actually, I was thinking like, you know, Uber Eats is the equivalent of having a chef and a butler in your house now. You know what I mean?
Or diabetes.
Because it was like, you know, if you were wealthy or well off, you could be like, you know, or even in a fancy hotel where you could do the room service.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're like, oh, do you know what? I really fancy a burger right now. Or a pizza. And you just get on the phone and go, burger.
You lazy shit.
Burger me up, man. Get me the burger. Right? And 5 minutes later, I knock on the door, burger. right?
Yeah.
Now, not everyone has that. Not everyone's got that sort of power,
Yeah.
right? But Uber Eats has delivered that to the working man, right? Because now you can go, do you know what? Even some of them
so
do
you're feeling
more.
a bit more posher.
No, I don't use it, to be honest.
Yeah.
I cook at home. I'm quite good at cooking, so I prefer to cook at home.
Try to stay,
I use it occasionally, yeah. But what I'm saying is, you can get quite gourmet meals on Deliveroo and fucking like all these
but you
other
should get
apps.
some dodgy ones as well.
Yeah, of course you can, but like these fancy restaurant chains that do operate on it, and you can get some pretty gourmet shit if you know what you're looking for, right?
Yeah.
So if you were kind of like a Deliveroo sort of connoisseur, one of these app delivery services, you could basically like, you know, treat it as your kitchen. You know, you're like, fancy a bit of, you know, when people live off this stuff now.
Well,
it's like you literally, it'll get to a point where you won't need a kitchen because you'd literally be able to order whatever you want from wherever you want.
That's why
whenever you want.
That's why they've sort of taken your time away, so you will go and order a takeaway instead of actually learning how to cook something to eat.
I know we're all going to end up
sort
some
of another
absolute
control mechanism.
Well, we're all going to end up absolute fucking numpties. That's what's happening.
Well, yeah,
we're halfway there.
Down.
I think that's it.
Pig shit. You know what I mean? It's getting that way.
I think there's something good about learning to cook. You know what I mean? I'm looking at. I mean, because at the end of the day, it's like, you know,
you learn
there's something satisfying in it,
and everything.
There's something satisfying in it. Obviously, getting to eat the thing you've made or created.
Yeah,
but
most of the time, I don't like eating what I've cooked.
Why? You know what's gone in it.
No, I know. No,
it's like Cartman's chili.
No, it's just
Scott Teverman chili.
No, it's just that kind of. I don't know. It's like I've worked on this. I can't be arsed now.
Well, I know. Do you know
hungry.
what? My mum was like that. Well, my mum and Gavin's like that.
My mum's
They'll be
like
they won't not eat, but like they'll make everyone else the food, and then theirs will sit on the side for a bit.
No one to take.
And I'd be like, "You're not going to eat yours?" But like, no, I've just been cooking it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So I appreciate that, but no, I'm one of them where I take real pleasure in making it and then real pleasure in eating it.
Yeah.
Do you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah. Well, on that note, I think we should move on to the news.
Yeah.
It's the news. Well, I've got some fucked up news, bit of NASA news.
Oh, go for it.
Bits and bobs, really. I've got this really strange story, man.
Hey.
So this, talking about fucking parasites, viruses and all that.
Yeah.
I've got this story about a man who he was having violent headaches.
Right.
Made him vomit. Yeah, these headaches.
Right.
And it turned out he had a tapeworm in his brain.
Oh,
for
shit.
10 years.
10 years?
Yeah. Doctors think the tapeworm had been up there, growing slowly ever since the man contracted it from eating some undercooked pork in Mexico.
Oh, shit. So, there you go. There's a little bit of proof that the nutrients that you actually put within your stomach actually can get to the brain.
I'm a bit
funny
about tapeworms. I kind of never know what they are.
12% of people in the UK have got tapeworm and don't know about it.
Really?
Yeah.
How do you find out if you've got one, and how do you get rid of it?
Well,
my experience in tapeworms is Fry from Futurama, where he gets a tapeworm and it makes him more intelligent, stronger.
No,
it basically sorts his life out.
Makes you skinny.
Does it?
Yeah.
Oh, maybe that.
Well, you're feeding for two, aren't you?
You know what I mean? It's like having a baby.
Yeah.
Ew, that's grim.
I had one, I called him Emery. I was like,
Ew.
No, I've never had one, as far as I know anyway. But do you know how they used to get rid of it?
Well, I don't know.
When you used to go to the hospital.
What, tease it out with a bit of meat? Come on, have a
sugar cube. They used to tie you down and put a sugar cube over your mouth and wait for the fucker to come out and then grab it and then pull it out.
No way.
Yeah.
Seriously,
that's how they used to do it.
How the fuck? So what, does it smell the sugar?
Chemically,
smell the sugar?
Well, yeah, because it's hungry. They starve you. You starve for 24 hours, and then you go to the hospital. You lay back. They tie you down, and they hover.
And is this the medieval version?
No, I think it was done in the 60s.
It sounds like a bit
70s.
fucking like Alien.
Yeah, I know. Well, yeah, but if you think about it, there's something inside
thing coming out of your mouth, like, oh.
Well, what's the alternative? Surgery?
Oh, do you know what? I thought you were going to say they whip it out your backside.
Oh, no, because it'll wrap itself round. So you know what I mean, and it'll grow and it grow. I think something like 14 feet, something like that. It can grow massive.
Well, the doctors from Texas think the tapeworm had been growing slowly ever since the man, like I say,
yeah, because if it grown bigger, then it would have eaten
some
years ago.
Eating some grim pork from Mexico.
Yeah.
He said he'd been having some major headaches and feeling off for months before the MRI scan. And he fainted whilst playing football last year. So obviously he's been having some fucking health issues.
Pork and beef is where you get a
Despite the pain and his headaches, he told NBC that it was very intense, very strong, and because it made him sweat too, the sweat and the pain of the headaches, he would vomit. So, yeah, a neurologist in Austin said that it was a very rare case and truly extraordinary.
Yeah, I've never heard really one in the brain.
Not in the brain, no.
And it must have been sucking on something. Do
you know what that tells me? Don't eat no pork when you're in Mexico.
Or beef.
Or beans. Or anything.
Pork or beef.
Just take cheese sandwiches. So, we've got another story here. It's so cold in Florida, that a frozen iguana fell out of a tree because of fucking not even joking. It's literally dropped in -40.
Oh shit, that's freezing.
Well, 4 Celsius, 40 Fahrenheit.
Well, you won't want
to
cook out in that.
It's cold. It's so cold, lizards are freezing in the trees.
Shit, man.
The National Weather Service in Miami posted a warning about falling creatures on Tuesday, basically saying just watch out for lizards. So obviously this iguana fell from the tree, and dropped hit the floor like a
smashed open like he was in the Matrix.
Oh, bless it. Poor little iguana.
It must have been dead for quite a while. But then again,
I thought
people
Florida
were
was supposed to be a really hot country all the time.
I wonder if it did survive.
What?
Because of freezing and then...
What, like cryogenics?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Well, yeah, actually, that's a good question.
Once it thaws out. Well, they're cold-blooded as well, aren't they?
Yeah, because don't forget, when you freeze, then you set up ice crystals, which tears you apart with inside, basically. But I wonder if it does have a kind of blood or kind of system of stopping it freezing within.
Yeah, maybe it'll thaw back out and just fucking get back on with it.
Yeah, it's a good question.
Well, the Boneley hot sauce company shared a video of one of its employees picking up a frozen iguana on Wednesday. The employee said in the video, "Hey, you okay? hope you don't look so good."
Now he's on his man company.
You don't look so good, little iguana. And then it was it was alive.
So it was alive.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
Hey, that answers that question, possibly.
Maybe.
That's a go on then, scientists. Go out and have a look.
I'm not sure. They're just fucking.
Well, if it must have been frozen for a long time, and -40, shit. You know what I mean?
No,
it's fucking freezing.
It's into the 30s and 40s, but it's Fahrenheit in it over there.
Oh, right, yeah.
I don't know what that equates to.
I've no idea. I'm just thinking.
Because do you know what? It's like I don't get why we don't all just use one measurement.
I know.
Do you know what I mean?
I know.
In this day and age,
yeah,
just use the same thing, man. It's making life difficult for everyone.
But yeah.
we're international now. Do you know what I mean? People communicate internationally, so it's like having two different measurements for the same thing. We should all be standardised now.
Well, yeah, but no, because I think I could.
When it comes to weights and measurements,
yeah, but I think there'd be some issues because a lot of people be using one kind of measurement like we are, and the others, another country or another kind of firm needs to use another measurement because it has to be that kind of measurement.
Well, yeah, on an industrial scale, then use it. But like, for just general,
Oh yeah, I agree.
Social fucking
Say back that the whole civilization are under one roof instead of like keeping everything. But then that means basically going out and having the talks with the UN, and we know how lazy them fuckers are.
What? To change it from fucking like we're all using Celsius instead of
need all to
Fahrenheit or
agree.
vice versa?
You need to all agree.
Oh, true,
Well,
but
that-
it's
and that
like,
takes
fuck me,
time.
man, you got to go to the United Nations and go, excuse me,
I think we
I think we should all
Yeah.
be using Celsius.
Someone would disagree and go, "Oh no.
Well, I think we should all be using Fahrenheit, and then it's war.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How dare you bring this to the table?
Oh, it'd be
How
you wanting
very
to use
dare
the
you.
Dewey Decimal System next, fucking
Yeah.
twat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No,
Well, like,
no.
next there'd be languages. Well,
Yeah, we
hopefully
should
England
all
will
be
win 'cause, like,
speaking
you know,
English. Well,
Yeah.
most people do speak English,
Well,
to be fair.
So it might as well. But apparently,
We win. we invented that, you know. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's pretty fucking clever, really.
Yeah, man, you get me with Don Doppers. Don Doppers at it.
No, it's just
Well,
we
it's
don't.
one of the hardest.
We
to
don't.
learn.
It is, but we none of us speak it very well. That's the
That
only
is
problem.
very true. We've all got
Yeah.
our own kind of language in
Well,
different
we've all got
areas, haven't we?
we've all got
It's
regional
the apples and
dialect.
pears
It's
sound.
funny how kind of like we are quite a small country, but the diversity of our accent is quite, noticeable.
Well, come
you
on,
know.
we are a mongrel country.
Well, this is the thing, because a lot of them, I don't know, whenever I hear Americans do impressions of English people,
Yeah.
it's all, hello, lovely day,
Yeah.
apples and pears and all that.
They
It's like,
love
have
all
you
that.
heard us? We definitely don't speak
Yeah.
like that.
No.
Yeah. I'm as common as muck. What you on about?
I know I've heard like oh, you live in England. Oh, do you live next to that famous star or that famous person?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll go
Yeah, I do.
down and have a cup of tea with him every morning.
Actually, no, because do you
Yeah.
know what? It's funny that, because I was actually thinking about the amount of people I've actually met over
Yeah.
the years.
Yeah.
I've done quite well in terms of like meeting what you'd
Celebrities.
consider a celebrity.
Yeah.
But I'm not starstruck in the slightest, do you know what I mean?
No,
Not-
just another person
Yeah, it's
who's
just a
got
person.
a little bit of ability.
Well, yeah,
of
no, I've
doing
been quite lucky to meet quite a lot of them,
Yeah.
to be honest. People famous for one thing or another.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Met David Beckham.
I met David Beckham.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you?
Yeah.
Where did you
Got
meet
his
him?
autograph as well.
Where did you meet him?
I
And I'll
met-
tell you my meeting of David
I
Beckham
met
story.
the whole Man United team. in
Oh,
the
right,
90s,
okay.
yeah.
Well, I've met I worked for class of 92 or whatever they were called.
Yeah,
For
yeah.
photos.
Yeah.
But how did you meet him?
I went to the training ground.
All right, wicked.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
I met Beckham when I first started working at a well-known bookshop.
Oh, yeah.
And they were doing a book signing. It was my first day,
Yeah.
right? And I was told to come in a suit. And I was
A
like,
suit?
yeah, because I was working on
Waiter.
on the event.
Right.
Yeah. And they went, come in wearing a suit. And I was like, why?
Yeah.
But it was my first day. I was just expecting orientation and all that bullshit, where you do
Yeah,
on your first day.
yeah.
And I had to escort him from the office down in the lift, and
Oh,
on
like
to
a
the-
naughty boy.
well, he obviously
Come
he's
on,
coming.
son, stop
he was up in
struggling.
the office and he had to come down for the signing. So
Yeah.
he's like,
You
well,
his bodyguard.
well, no, because his bodyguard was stood there. It was huge, mate. I was just like, why the hell am I stood
Oh, you're
next
his
to you?
PA
Like,
then.
I was like, yeah, it looked like I was someone. Yeah, but
I'm important. Get out the way. I'm his PA.
move, bitch, get out of the way.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, but but I met a lot of people doing that job, and
Yeah.
then like through other jobs, met a few
Yeah.
people. But obviously, Terry Jones passed away recently, and I was lucky
Yeah,
enough to
man.
meet him. He was such a nice guy. He was doing a thing about his book about Romans or something
yeah.
like that.
He's a
And
very naughty boy.
he was a very nice man. But honestly, he was super cool.
Yeah.
And I've got a signed book from him actually,
Hey,
and a
man,
few
yeah.
bits and pieces. He was a good guy.
Yeah.
So yeah, fucking another, salute to you, sir.
Yeah, all right.
Obviously, fucking what a super legend
Yeah.
he was, and rest in peace.
Yeah.
Good man. Yeah, have you got any more news stories you want to talk about today?
Yeah.
I've got one or two more.
Oh, you have that, yeah.
Yeah, so, where am I up to? So, we're talking about coronavirus.
Yeah.
Well, there was a fucking prank in Illinois in a Walmart that cost $10,000 worth of damage,
Oh,
the police say. So, basically, was this in Chicago? So, in Chicago, two teenagers had basically had been charged after pulling a fucking coronavirus prank at a Walmart.
Yeah.
Oh, they were in Illinois. according to the police. Tyler D. Williams, 19, or Wallace, 19, walked into a Walmart on Sunday afternoon wearing a handmade sign on his back that said, "Caution, I have the coronavirus." Wallace put a yellow medical mask on and started to begin spraying fucking Lysol on products around the fucking shop. Do you know what I mean?
That
Wallace,
could have been anything in that spray.
I know. Wallace turned himself into the police on Thursday, and he was charged with fucking being a knobhead, basically.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a couple of charges there.
Also, a 17-year-old boy was in the store with Wallace. He was arrested on the same charges for being disorderly and for disorderly conduct and criminal trespass.
And for being a bigger knobhead.
Yeah, so how come? So where did the damage come in? Well, Walmart estimate a loss of 7,300 because he had to evacuate the store, and the cleanup costs were 2,400 according to the police.
Well, like I said, they don't know exactly what was in that spray, so they couldn't sell that stuff to the public, or they'd have bad reputation.
Well, according to the data collected by Johns Hopkins University on Friday, 31,523 people have been infected, and 638 had died, but obviously it's gone up.
Yeah,
this is an older story, but this is how rapid it's going. So, you know, I mean, like
double every
within
6
a couple of days.
At the moment, yeah.
So, you know, these two kids, they're fucking idiots. What if you're going to go around, right? Honestly, yeah. I mean, I've seen a few memes.
Yeah.
I've seen, you know, people making the obvious connection with the Corona beer.
Yeah.
We've all done it. I've done a bit of my Corona. Yeah. Right? You can kind of have a bit of a chuckle, yeah, but it is pretty serious, yeah. Now, to go around, you know, basically insinuating that you've got it and that you could...
It'd be pretty gutted
in a public space. Yeah. Now, he would be gutted if
someone in his family died of it. He would be so gutted. It's a stupid move. Hopefully he's learned about it, and people have heard about it and learned about it. There's a time and a place, and it's not the time or the place.
Exactly, yeah. What a fucking tool. Yeah. So, yeah, before you think about fucking doing anything stupid like that, you know what I mean?
Don't bother.
Don't be fucking mad.
Be a fucking idiot.
Yeah, don't be a fucking idiot.
Because it could always come back and bite you on the arse.
Well, there's actually been a reported case in Illinois as well. So basically, it was a woman in her 60s was hospitalised after being diagnosed with the illness following a return from Wuhan. So, you know what I mean? You know, so it's not unfeasible for the police to take that very seriously. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
and it's in his area.
That's what I'm saying. You know it's in that. It's in the vicinity, isn't it? So, you know.
Yeah. Without a doubt, she's probably spreading. She just hasn't gone straight home. She probably hasn't realised she's got it until it's kicked off.
Well, yeah, exactly. I mean, it's like a couple of days, isn't it, before the...
Yeah.
Well, it can be, but obviously it can be quicker. So.
Yeah. It all depends on your DNA.
Your genetics, if you've got good genetics.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Well, here's something for you, right? Here's a story. Thank you. Right? Thousands of bats have taken over a town with residents afraid to leave their homes.
I've heard about this.
Yeah, so the bat tornado, as it's known, was basically fucking took over an area over a local hospital. So it meant that the air ambulance was grounded, and it made it impossible to fly. The flying animals had taken over the town of Ingham in North Queensland in Australia. And they're a protected species, so they can't really do anything about it.
What have you heard about...
Australia are fucking getting it biblically at the moment, aren't they? It's like, fucking hell, what have they done?
Talking biblically, have you heard about I think it's Africa, where, what did they call the flying fucking crickets?
Locust.
The amount of locusts that have come out is unbelievable. Apparently, it's like tens of millions. There's
Fucking hell.
fucking so many of them.
Do you
There's
think
major
it's?
problems.
Do you think we're in the fucking end times? Is that what it's happening? Is this what's happening?
Well,
Because it kind of
there's
stacking
lots
up a
of-
bit,
yeah,
doesn't it? It is stacking up a little bit.
I've got to agree there. But then I think it's I think we've depending on this
biblical.
coronavirus. I think we've got enough time on this earth
we're
to
sweet.
change.
So, well, basically, there's been fucking 4 different species of this bat. They've all come together,
Oh, see, they're all ganging up. now.
ganging up. So, yeah, it's fucked up, innit?
It is.
But, yeah,
and they're
a
virus
tornado-
carriers big time.
This
as
is
well.
the thing, you see, because that's what they thought that was at first as well, didn't they,
Yeah.
bats?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but again, because they're endangered.
So obvious.
Oh, I tell you what, if they find out it is them little bastards, they won't be endangered anymore, man.
Oh,
They'll be out there
culling.
with fucking shotguns.
Yeah, there'd be a big.
They'll be like,
call out
nope, can't do it, gotta kill them all.
there. In fact, I'd say that they'd be doing it now.
Well, probably.
Yeah. Well, if they're everywhere, well, go out in the middle of the fucking
What,
forest.
so, yeah,
boom,
totally.
boom,
So
boom.
what do you think, like, these Australians doing a bit of fucking,
Hunting.
you know, yeah, but, you
Why
know,
not?
on the low key?
Yeah, why not?
Probably.
Yes, if you can get rid of them, bam. It's not going to hurt the millions. that are
Endangered
there.
species, though, aren't they? So that's the thing. That's the only
Yeah,
problem.
but some people, an endangered species against someone, a load of people who are getting annoyed. Which one do you reckon's going to fucking win?
Annoyed people.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
Until you take
yeah.
into court,
Yeah, exactly.
and some animal activist, some animal rights activist
Yeah, by
gets
then
involved.
I would have got a lawyer. I would have had a look at some of the laws up, and I would have fucking beat the case because there's a little loophole somewhere.
True that.
You know what
I'm
I mean?
losing my voice again.
You are.
Well, I think we're pretty much near the end of the show.
Yeah.
All right, there, Percy.
Percy.
Yeah. So, well,
Well.
there you go. We've had a fascinating episode. Well,
Yeah.
have I got any more? What's it?
What's this? You got what's
NASA
it?
news. Have I got any NASA news? Is what
I
I'm
don't
thinking.
know.
Oh, I don't know. Probably. Have you?
I have one news about some scientists that found well, here we go. Earlier January, an international team of researchers announced the discovery of dust particles that were 5 to 7 billion years old, which means they are older than our solar system.
No way.
Yeah.
It is hard.
And they found that in Australia, which it landed there in 1969. But then now, a different team of researchers have announced the discovery of dust particles that are 5 to 7 billion years old, which landed in 1969 on the opposite side of the world in Mexico.
Fucking hell.
And and it's a big discovery. So it is hoping there's more news going to be coming out for that.
Well, I've got a bit. NASA has finally re-established connections with Voyager 2.
Oh yeah, mint.
Yeah, excellent. You can actually go on to our website. There's a link there to the NBC News website, which is the live stream of that. Well, basically, it links you to a video which explains it all and gives you all the gist. Plus, the Northrop Grumman is a go for launch on the 13th.
Yeah.
Basically, it's a cargo ship for NASA.
Yeah.
So that's going to be sending up some bullshit to the ISS, no doubt.
Yeah, and you remember them 2 astronaut females who went out and done the first spacewalk?
Yeah.
Well, actually, one of them's just broke a record for being up there for 9 months.
Excellent. So
Yeah.
she's the longest female in space, is she now then?
Yeah.
Well, congratulations to you.
Congratulations to you. I can't remember your name, but sorry.
Oh, quickly,
but it was-
one more NASA story.
Yeah.
So these, talking about people being up on the space station.
Yeah.
So up there was a NASA astronaut. He's basically getting a bit pissed off with the flat earthers.
Okay.
So he decided to take a picture of
Earth.
and post it.
Yeah.
It caused a load of shit. They were
Right.
all like, how the fuck are you even using Twitter? Yeah, because he's posted on
Right.
Twitter. People couldn't grasp the fact that he was in space and he was using Twitter.
Where do
Yeah.
you think you get your signal?
Right. They wouldn't buy that his image was legit. They wouldn't buy that it was not curved. They basically said, I'm looking at a disc.
What
you know,
the fuck?
it caused uproar. One woman They posted her comments on the news story.
Yeah.
Which was great because they left her Twitter handle there as well.
Oh, right.
So I messaged her.
Oh, right. Oh,
I said, congratulations, you're so dumb you made the paper.
Oh, man.
Mate.
Did you get a reply?
I did indeed.
Oh, what did she say?
She said, what was it she said? Oh, no, she just said, yes, thanks. So I said, oh, well, I'm glad that the education system had let you down in a big way.
Well, everyone knows our opinion on it because we did an episode.
If you want to listen to our episode on the Flat Earth, then you go and have a listen.
Opinion.
Check it out.
Yeah.
It's all good in the archives and Never Straight Answer Vault.
Yeah.
Aye. Yeah. Plenty more episodes. If you're just listening to us now, if you've only just started listening to us, go back.
Yeah.
We've got tons of episodes you can listen to, all on various topics.
Yeah.
Tonight's been a bit of a serious one.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's important.
Yeah.
You know, but we normally take a quiet and a light-hearted approach to our topics. Sometimes it's more of a story kind of telling. More sometimes it's a bit of a discussional episode.
Yeah.
So we like to been a bit of it's a mixed bag in it.
Yeah.
But we love it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So do you by the sounds of things.
Yeah. So tell a friend if you're interested in the show.
Yeah. And thank you
also
for listening.
And thank you. Returning and repeat people. Yeah. So on that note, we've got some shout outs.
Oh yeah.
So every month we have a featured podcast. This month's no different. This month we've got the not so Minnesota Nice podcast.
Yes.
Which we've been a big supporter of since we started.
Yeah.
And obviously the great girls do a really good job at what they do. Very creative.
Get a listen on.
Get on to the Not So
Minnesota
Nice podcast.
Yeah.
With Jessie G and Jen. Really cool. Get involved. We've also got the Tennish podcast, who do some great top 10 podcasts.
Yeah, they do, man.
Grief Burrito and the Killer Rabbit Boys.
Yes.
Also a big shout out to Gareth, Mr. Shirley Crabtree.
Yes, boys.
Big shout out to EJ for a fantastic work she's been doing. She's our blogger in the sub-basement.
Cracking blogger.
In the subterranean basement.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
She's great. She does an awesome job.
Yeah.
She'll be popping up now and again in some capacity as well.
She will.
So, big shout out to Valerie Bubbles.
Yes, Valerie.
Also, big shout out to our Patreons.
Yeah.
Obviously, if you want to become a Patreon too, you can get over to the Never Straight Answer website. There's a link on there, and also. Just if you're on Patreon, go to Patreon Never Straight Answer.
Yeah, we love your donation.
Exactly, it'd be brilliant. So we've got big Patreons. We've got Big J. Thanks for your support.
Yeah, man.
Brooke, thanks for your support.
Yeah, Brooke,
Swoosh, thanks again, mate. You're an absolute legend.
Yes, Swoosh.
Susie and Chris.
Yes.
And also Dunk. Cheers for your support, guys.
Yeah.
Been amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's been one of them episodes where it's been a bit of a short one. But it doesn't really matter.
We've had a good conversation. We hope you loved it too.
Let us know what your opinions are as well on this, because obviously it's a bit of a fucking worry.
We want a bit of you giving us something. We want you to create it.
Just leave a comment or something when we post the episode. If you've got an email or you've got a story or anything you want us to cover, you can email us at neverstraightanswer@gmail.com. If you live in a fucked up town, you can go on the same email us, or go onto the website and send us an email through that, and tell us why your fucked up town should be featured on the podcast.
Yeah.
You could be on.
You could be, yes.
We could be talking about where you live and what's fucked up where you live. There you go. It's a new segment. It's still got some kinks in it, but we're doing it. We're there. It's all right.
We're getting there.
We're getting there.
Yeah.
What else is there? You can go over to the website where you can get the latest downloadable episode. You can see our featured podcast. Also, get merch.
Yeah.
Help us out. Go on the social bit.
Yeah.
You can do a donation to Patreon or just to PayPal. You can, like I say, get some merch, mugs, baseball caps, all the usual
Lovely stuff.
And if you haven't subscribed already, go to wherever you get your podcast, Spotify, iTunes, Castbox, wherever, and just subscribe through that.
Yeah.
And there you go. That's it. It's all the fucking business done at the end of the day, isn't it?
No more messing about after that. It's all
That's
dealt
it.
with, and
We're-
you just have to listen to us every week.
We've not had an extra for a couple of weeks,
No,
but
we haven't.
next week is
Yeah.
such an in-depth topic.
Yes.
That I'm gonna say that we're gonna do it in a two-parter, but not in a
Yeah.
two-parter. It's gonna be part of the extra.
Yeah.
We'll be talking about the topic
Yes.
in the extra. Not necessarily. We might wrap it up in the first episode, but we'll still have stuff to talk about.
Yeah, you'll probably get our opinion in the.
You'll probably get a bit more of this
of
topic
what we think
in
more.
the
Yeah.
extra. And then it's business as usual after that. We'll
Yeah.
be back with normal main episodes and an extra every week for you. Plus, get on Patreon because we'll be posting a lot more exclusive content.
We will. Be
Oh
doing.
yeah,
Yes,
it's well worth it, especially if you like
Lot more coming.
what we do. And
Yeah. we do.
our ramblings.
Yeah, and you
Well-
must do if you keep on listening.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
I'm gonna go before I lose my voice.
But you lost it.
I know, innit? Right, well, that's it. That's
Yeah,
it. That's another
it.
episode.
That's a wrap.
That's a wrap. We're going for the rap party.
Yeah,
I've been Gaz.
I've been Taylor.
Peace.
Outside. Cheese boy. I like it.
You're more of a pot noodle, man.
Oh, I had that yesterday.
Grim.
Yeah.
There's
Nice.
nothing like there's no such thing as an edible pot noodle.
Oh, that's true. It was a bit crunchy, this one, actually.
Well, you didn't leave it to boil for long enough.
I
that's
didn't.
what it
I
is.
must admit, yeah.
You
Yeah.
scruff.
Greedy
Right.
bastard, aren't
We're out of here.
I? Bye-bye.
Bye.